Huzzah, you're here. What ho, chaps, how the devil? It's 7 p.m. on Saturday night, isn't it, in England? It's only 11 o'clock in the morning here, which is why it's bright. And I haven't got the Christmas tree lights on. However, here we are. Good to see, wow, almost 100 people in here on a Saturday night. That's good that you've all turned up, but it's also bad because it proves that, frankly, some of you sad bastards really need to get a social life. Saturday night, although we're all getting on a bit, aren't we? We're all getting on a bit. Oh, yeah, no, most of the pubs closed thanks to the British government closing them all for fucking 12 months. So maybe that's why. Great idea. Let's blame them like we usually do. You're always better off blaming them, aren't you? Well, to be honest, it's normally them that fuck everything up. Who's in? Two Tones in, Whiskey Straight Al's in, Now Then, Professor Andy, Patriotic Brit, Mavis, hello, Scouse Obi, Welsh Warrior, hello from Wales. They're not all bad lads in Wales. It's only 50% of the country that are communists. It's sort of like Scotland, right? Mickey Rogers is in, Confusion, 51 North, Bill Beebe, Jack Ollie, Yorkshire Boy, Ginger Mongoose, Davy Boy, the Codhead, the Best Plague Marine, Mick, Terry Ruckfit, Scott Bates, Vivian Needle, Dave Ferguson. Christ, there's loads of yous now. Two-Tone, Coco, Chanel, Joel, M. Saint GF. Christ, that's not an easy one to read out. Ben Jones, Brian Pace, Jack Ollie, Scouts Obi, Feet Baloo, Billy Baggs, Glyn Simmons, Surf, and anyone else I've missed. Right. This video, right, I was going to do this one, but it's too funny. So I think I'll record this and I'll make a video about it because this popped up on the BBC homepage today. Does solo polyamory mean having it all? I swear down. I mean, I'll do you 2 minutes because I'm going to save this for later. It says, with no primary partner and the potential for multiple meaningful relationships, solo polyamorists are hopping off the heteronormative relationship escalator. That is the best paragraph I've ever read for saying absolute jizz bucket without making it sound demeaning. That's all that means. So that's hilarious, isn't it? I'm doing a video about that. Solo polyamory. I mean, I've talked about, there's dozens of stories I've covered over the last couple of years where the BBC are just trying to fuck everybody's life up and make kids miserable and do away with the nuclear family and meaningful relationships and having husbands and children and all that type of thing. But that's the best one yet. Solo polyamory. It just means being a hooer. If you go down the big market every Friday night and get rattled senseless over a wheelie bin behind the nightclubs by sailors you barely know, you're a solo polyamorist. Mary's a bit of a slut, isn't she? No. Actually, she's a solo polyamorist, rejecting heteronormative relationships. Oh, brilliant. She sounds as a pound then. She sounds as a pound. A fanny smells like a fucking someone smells like, if you know, when people leave the council house in a bad state on purpose because they're spiteful degenerates and they're like sew some shrimp into the curtains and leave them for 6 months. That her fanny smells like them curtains. Her beef curtains smell like those shrimp curtains. So I'll be doing a video about that one. That's too funny to pass up. So yeah, I'll cover that one another time. Here's a good one that probably doesn't warrant a video, but it's funny. Poland grenade incident. Police chief confirms unusual Ukrainian gift. Right? I'm loving that. I'm loving the fact that top coppers in Poland are as thick as they are in the UK. I mean, seriously. I know that we've all got supposed to have a collective hard-on for Poland at this point. Ukraine at this point. But why are they gifting people grenade launchers? Is it like anything they want shot of? That'll do. Fuck it. Tie a bow on it. Post it to him. It'll do. It's a present. It's not a present. Kane's first live. How are you doing, Kane? Oh, no. Kane's a Man United fan. Well, I suppose being a Middlesbrough fan, it's all right, because nobody really hates you. When you're terrible at football, you're not really the prime target for anybody, are you? You're the ultimate underdog. So I suppose I like them more than City. Anyway, Poland grenade incident. Police chief confirms unusual. So listen to this thick twat. He should definitely be running Cleveland police, because a human plank is running the police service in my hometown. Maybe we should promote him and send him over there. But look at this. Poland's highest ranking police chief has confirmed to local media that he accidentally set off a grenade launcher given to him as a gift by Ukraine. I'll stop you there. That's a shite present. You know, it's Christmas. You want a bottle of brandy or a selection box or, a nice sweater. Who wants a grenade launcher for Christmas? And in Poland, are you even legally allowed to have a grenade launcher? I don't understand. I don't understand how it happened or how it was legal. Is that how it works? If you're a top copper now that can just, I want an Uzi. Go on then. I'll get you one. The president of Denmark will send you an Uzi. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how that's legal, for starters. It says Jaroslaw. I don't even try to pronounce Polish names. It looks like Szymczyk or something, but it's probably like like a guttural moan. Polish is even harder to pronounce than Welsh. Jaroslaw suffered minor injuries on Wednesday after opening up the present at his Warsaw office. Well, he got lucky there. I think if you have a negligent discharge with a grenade launcher and you walk away from it, you've done well there. Son. I'd expect you to be shy at least both legs if you have an ND with a grenade launcher. A member of staff was, I don't care about them. Yeah. Normies. Who cares? They're not important like a woke police chief. General Smierch has now spoken to Polish broadcasters about the unusual incident. He told them he received the present during his recent trip to Ukraine. And why is there a Polish police chief going to Ukraine? Think of that. Like, we're now living in such a ludicrous time that every single person in the world, the Western world, who is linked in any way towards politics, right? Because as I've told you a lot before, right? If you're anything in the military or paramilitary, police, fire, any public servant at all, once you get past the rank where you're actually doing the job, i.e. probably up to about captain in the military, you're basically just a politician. And this fucker, for some reason, Polish coppers are going on visits to Ukraine. What's he doing over there? And why did he leave with a grenade launcher? I want to know the answer to these. I think these are pertinent to any European. When I was moving the used grenade launchers, which were gifts from Ukrainians, there was an explosion. The force of the impact went through the floor and damaged the ceiling. Fucking human sausage with a uniform on. The BBC requested confirmation of the facts, but did not receive a response. So this made me feel better, because this proves that top coppers, even in Poland, which looks based on the face of it, top coppers even in Poland are thick as shit. So winner. I'm glad to see that the public servants are grossly incompetent and stupid in every Western nation. It makes me feel a lot better about the fact that we are surrounded by top coppers who shield pedos, fold little kids up, and generally act like the fucking detritus of society. So, should make you feel a bit better. Yeah, there we go. I mean, hopefully Boston Dynamics can hurry up the program and we can actually get, Ed 209 marching down the streets, because I don't see how a robot copper could be any worse than the human ones that we've got running things. So that was brilliant. Now, something else I want to talk about, which isn't on the BBC, but it's worth talking about because, I'm a fan of Warhammer. I used to work for Games Workshop. Henry Cavill, if you haven't heard, was obviously he left The Witcher, which was popular, because he wasn't happy with the source material getting changed. I mean, like everything nowadays, most commentators on YouTube really do seem to make things far more complicated than they need to be. Ultimately, what happened to The Witcher is the same thing what happened to Star Wars, is the same thing what happened to every single big production is the same thing that's definitely going to happen to Indiana Jones. Because have you seen the clip of the new Indiana Jones film they make? It suspiciously looks like Indiana Jones is going to be replaced with some young split ass, which is obviously we knew that was going to happen. But the point is, people overcomplicate this stuff. I like watching The Critical Drinker, and he does good reviews with like other film reviewers on YouTube. And they'll talk about it for hours. It's like, it doesn't need to be any more complicated than this. Every single thing they make nowadays is ran through the woke filter. And that's it. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, what franchise it is, Star Trek, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, anything. You know it's going to get woke before it comes out. And you know the people on Twitter and social media, the wokeists, that don't make up the majority of people, but somehow manage to wield this power vastly out of proportion of the numbers. They're in charge. And what they say goes. So 90% of humanity aren't woke, shit for brains, brain dead communists. But that's what you're getting. So you know before any of this comes out, you know what's going to happen. The second you move against them, you become the anti-communist. And in this day and age, because it's like neo-communism, the anti-communist doesn't like identity politics, doesn't like militant feminism, doesn't like both of those things encroaching in the world that they like to fucking read or view for an hour a day just to get away from all of this shite, insipid shite. So obviously, this twat has transcripted the podcast with an apparent Henry Cavill leak on it. And I read a story about it, but the story was on one of those lefty websites, Kotaku. So I'd rather just read the transcript for you. But basically, I'll go quick and then we'll dissect it afterwards. It says, someone said, do you want to know what really went down? And I said, sure. And I'll miss out all the superfluous likes as well. Being Northern, we say like a lot. Like, are you off out tonight? Like, what went on there? Like, but we don't say it in every single sentence. Like, for some reason, these Gen Z Americans do. And I was like, and he was like, and she was like, whatever. I fucking hate the way they talk. So I'm going to get rid of the superfluous likes as well. I got a message. Someone asked, do you want to know what went down? And I said, yeah. So let me just read it. It says, at the beginning of the show, Henry was good to work with. A lot of unusual demands that made people feel like he wasn't really a team player, but not unusual for a big star. In season 2 and 3, something shifted and he became impossible for women to work with. Here we go. Do you believe it? It's like Elon Musk. It's almost exactly the same as Elon Musk, isn't it? Because Elon Musk is a normal person who appears to have not really done anything particularly egregious at all. And then he voted Democrat for like 20 years. And then the second he did something that they view as being a move against them, they've all closed ranks. And now all the fucking mainstream media in Silicon Valley and everybody else has just decided en masse in a really, really strange way that Elon Musk is like public enemy number one. And again, I'm trying to be reasonable about it and think of it logically because I'm not a dickhead. If you think a bit about it logically, I'm not a massive Elon fanboy, right? I'm not one of these people who makes clickbait, like, you know, that guy from The Quartering. I don't particularly like his channel. I don't think he's entertaining to watch. And he just spams shit about whatever's the talking point of the day. There's a lot of people jumping on the Elon Musk bandwagon. I don't love Elon Musk, and I don't hate him. The logical response to someone like Elon Musk is almost nonchalant ambivalence towards the bloke. He's a billionaire, and like all billionaires, he looks after himself. I don't think he's the great savior of fucking humankind, and he's definitely not very conservative. But the point is, he's just a businessman. He voted Democrat for decades, and then the second he did something that they decided was bad, they treated him honestly like Harvey Weinstein, or, you know, well, no, not him, because they like that fat Baron Greenback-looking toad, don't they? They're treating him like he's the most evil person on the planet. And he isn't, is he? So the point I'm getting at, yeah, for those of you having a pop in the chat, yeah, he's not. He definitely isn't. What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm not. I don't love Elon Musk. I almost don't really care about Elon Musk. But I'm pointing it out because it's exactly the same as what they'll do to Cavill and what they'll do to anybody. Me, if I went on fucking Strictly Come Dancing and they took a quick look at my YouTube page, they'd be like, right, he's evil. We need to destroy him. They don't care that I'm not particularly conservative and I'm definitely not mega right wing. But it's like, you can't disagree with them on anything. The second you disagree with them, you're the enemy. And this is why, instead of just dancing around the issue, I just call them commies, because this is what I keep telling you. Yeah, there's no need for all these fancy names for them, like pseudo neo-Marxist communitarian. They're just commies, because it boils down to that. Like everything, always, it boils down to commies versus fascists, and communists fully believe that they don't care about your race, your gender, your sexuality, any of that. They separate by, are you a communist or aren't you? And if you're not a communist, you're the enemy. So because Elon Musk stood against them once after voting for their side for 20 years, he's the enemy. Henry Cavill says things he doesn't like, he's the enemy. It's like, there's no rationality to it. The bloke hasn't done any. I cannot. If anyone in the chat can point me at one thing that Elon Musk has done that warrants the outright endless hatred for it, I'd love to see it. Because as far as I can see, all he did was said, look, we shouldn't ban as many people from Twitter as we have been, and we really should allow people to talk a bit more freely. That's it. And that's all he's done. That is true, but again, I don't want to overcomplicate things, Billy. What I'm telling you is, it's just like before the rise of Nazi Germany, right? It's always the far left have a big rumble with the far right, and then the far left always lose because they're usually fucking degenerate sparrow-born soy boys. And then you get the rise of the authoritarians on the right instead. That's what always happens. And it's going to happen again, isn't it? Because seriously, like I keep telling you a lot, history is a form of prophecy. It always repeats itself. What's going to happen is Labour are going to win. You're going to get a fucking total chaos in the UK. You're going to have about 4 years of total degeneracy. They're going to move millions more foreigners in. Everything's going to go tits up. It's going to repeat the 1970s because it's history, right? There's going to be unburied dead, fucking bin liners full of shite in everybody's streets. It's going to be a total fucking mess. And then you're going to get an actual right-wing party turn up. Like, it's just happened in Italy. You've got a right-wing alternative. And then they'll take over. And then they'll be all right. But then they'll go too far, because they always do. And it's just a pendulum. It's just a pendulum. And we're currently in the lefty pendulum. And like I keep saying, now I've got a bit older and I've realised this is how it always goes. I do have a preference, right? As I've always talked about, Pinochet. Pinochet was a bit of a twat. But when you're a kid and you're learning about him and you think, wow, this is weird. How did such like an evil guy take power? And then you grow up a little bit and you see what the commies act like whenever they take over. And you realise that's why Reagan and Thatcher turned a blind eye to him, because at least you can work with a hardcore right-wing strongman, can't you? Same with Saddam, old Sads. Sadd's had a functioning country, didn't he? You're better off having a Saddam Hussein than a fucking Stalin. Definitely. Definitely. Old Sads kept things running. Do strong men like Pinochet and Sads, that's exactly what they do, isn't it? They go, right, I've had enough of this shit. If you do this, you get killed. Basically what your right-wing strongman does. Pinochet was like, right, find the full-blown commie activists, the ringleaders, the rabble-rousers, and then he took them for a helicopter ride, right? So Pinochet, maybe he'd kill a few hundred people a year. Because seriously, what are the numbers on Pinochet? I mean, he killed a lot of people, but he didn't decimate the entire country. And that's what you get with communism. So people like me, centrist people, look at it and go, well, I don't like either. But if you're going to make me pick, I'll obviously go with the old right-wing authoritarian strongman. Saddam Hussein's Iraq or Assad's Syria is better than having total collapse of everything, which is what you get with the commies. So that's why Reagan and Thatcher turned a blind eye to Pinochet. Now I get it. When you're a kid, you think, oh my God, it's disgraceful. Why would Reagan and Thatcher, two free world leaders, be willing to talk to someone like Pinochet? And then you see what happens when the left-wing degenerates take over and you go, oh, that's why. That's why. And any normal person, which is why it appeals to the masses, any normal person would prefer a Pinochet to fucking, I don't even know, who'd take over at this point? I'm like Owen Jones with a coke problem, you know, sitting on like a gilded throne. Kill them all. That's what he'd be like. That's what he'd be like. And this shit proves it. And what they're doing with Elon's proved it. And what they did with David Starkey proves it. And what they did with Dame Hussey proves it. If you're not a communist, you get both barrels when they take over. Everybody. It's not like there wasn't an overcrowding problem in the gulags when Stalin took over, was it? They were a little bit busy. This is what you always get. So that's how it happens. Easy. Anyway, I went off on a tangent about Pinochet. What I'm saying is, what's happened to Cavill is what happens to everyone. So it's not that confusing. It's what's happened to Musk. It's what happened to Trump. It's what happened to David Starkey. It's what happened to Hussey. It's what happens to everyone. As soon as you display a willingness to go against the woke narrative, you become public enemy number one. Elon Musk, love him or hate him, but there is no logical reason for the amount of hatred that Elon Musk has got when you look at what he's actually done. And they're doing the same to Henry Cavill, who is a fucking actor. He never killed anyone. He's never been done for rape. He's not a nonce. Nobody's died as a result of Henry Cavill, but now he's in the fucking crosshairs, so they're coming for him. And this is just a smear. It says, the showrunner is a woman. He'd always try to overrule her and try to get changes made last minute. Yeah, because he's read the fucking books and you haven't. You dizzy bint. That's why. What blows my mind. Where did they get that from? Because the showrunner is a woman. Can you even see that? It's a bit small on my screen. Can I zoom in a bit more? Fucking, I was making it littler. If I can zoom out on it. Maybe I have to save it and then I have to blow it up. Let me try and do that because I know that's probably quite hard to read. Fuck you, StreamYard. How do I do it? Present. Slides. What's that? No, that's bollocks. That's bollocks. Extra camera. It only supports Google Slides, PowerPoint, and PDF. Okay, fuck you then. Nothing with a picture on? I guess not. Ah, well, you'll have to squint or take my word for it. She said, it was worse here because the showrunner was a woman. So this is, again, the identity politics thing, where they attribute any possible disagreement to identity politics because the commies and their ideologies completely took over the brain. How can you say because the showrunner is a show? It's like anything. It's like if you have an argument with a woman when you're not a commie because she's wrong, they go, oh, that's because you hate women. Do you see how illogical and irrational it is? Oh, yeah, because the showrunner is a woman, he would try to overrule her and get changes made. What do you mean because she's a woman? If the director was a bloke and said, right, in this scene, Geralt's going to suck fucking Hasker off, he'd go, no, that doesn't happen. But the man can't go, it's because I'm a man, innit? But with identity politics, it's that for everything that they do. If they can be placed on the pyramid, the intersectional pyramid, in any way, that's what they instantly go to. And it doesn't make sense on the face of it. If you disagree with me, if I'm female, black, gay, lesbian, trans, brown, Hindu, Muslim, anything other than a wasp, basically, you disagree with me because of that. And you can see why, when these people are in charge, that's why everything goes tits up, because logic goes out the window. Logic goes out the window. They'll start going, 2 + 2, that's 5, you cunt. And then you go, no, it isn't. It's 4. They go, it's because I'm a woman. 2 + 2 is 5. No, it isn't. It's actually 4. Oh, you already said that because I'm black. That's why it kills the meritocracy when these fruitcakes take over, because you can't disagree with them. You can't say, hang on, you're wrong. Because if you do that, they say you're only disagreeing with me because black woman, lesbian, trans, gay, Muslim, whatever. So you're fucked. And then people, because most people are cowardly, they stop talking about it because it's easier. It's what human beings do. They always take the path of least resistance. That's why everybody starves to death when they take over, because they go, oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll smash up the combine harvesters and I'll fucking do it this way. And I'll get rid of the bloke who's been a farmer for 20 years because he's a straight white man. I'll throw him out and I'll put this disabled black lesbian in as the farmer. Nice one. And then if you go, what, but she hasn't had any agricultural training, they go, you said that because it's a black woman. So you just go, all right then. All right then. Put them in. It's easier to just keep your mouth shut. That's why this happens. That sentence proves how stupid it is. Because she's a woman. What do you mean? Henry Cavill, I know he's got a brother. I met his brother. He's a bootneck. I think I've told you guys that. Major Cavill. He was a major at 4-2 Commando when I was there in about 2003, I think it was. Anyway, that's what happens. So if you disagree with them on anything, they go, oh yeah, it's because I'm a woman, but I'm a lesbian. So people go, all right, won't say anything. And then you don't say an out when they get rid of the straight white man who's a farmer with 25 years experience. You don't say an out. They put the black disabled wheelchair lesbian. Ash Sarkar gets the agriculture job, even though she fucking works for the Guardian. She's got no agricultural training. She gets the job because it's always jobs for the boys when the commies are in charge. And then everybody starves to death. Whoops. But nobody says anything because it's easier. So don't say, all right then, go on then, put the trans activist in. That's why that baldy Mekon with a fucking 5 head and a ginger mustache. Like I said, Conor McGregor with AIDS. That's why Conor McGregor with AIDS got that gig, one of the highest paid public servants in America. Because if they go for a job interview and the bloke goes, yeah, well, the fellow we interviewed, Simon Smith, who we interviewed at 9 o'clock, he was good, man. He seemed on the ball. He knew everything. He was clever. He gave good responses. He seemed punctual. He was well-dressed. And then we've got this Mekon J. Fuckknuckle. He came in. Sorry, they came in. That'll be a problem for meeting minutes. They came in and they had neon lips and a fucking vase up his arse. Frankly, I wasn't very impressed with him. But HR go, oh yeah, but if you don't hire Neon J Fuckknuckle, then we might have an issue. You know, it'll take it to Twitter, and then we'll have all this problem. You know, it'll look bad. So they go, all right then, hire Neon J Fuckknuckle, and then there you go. Then the company's dead 5 years later. Whoops, a daisy. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's everything they touch will die. Everything. So you're going to make me pick between Pinochet or Chairman Mao. I'll go with the fucking dictator, thanks very much. Not because I'm right-wing. I'm not. Got no time for people throwing people out of helicopters. But if you're going to force me to pick, I'm a pragmatist. Like most working-class men, I'm a pragmatist. That's what I'm telling you. This is why authoritarian loonies take over, because most human beings prefer the path of least resistance. If you're a normal working-class man and the path of least resistance is the right-wing authoritarian who'll at least get the fucking buses running on time, which is a comedy line, but it's still true because they do get things done. Commies, fucked. Nothing works because of the aforementioned Neon McFuckknuckle. Nothing works. Everything goes to shit. Entertainment, business, public services, everything. Fucked. Think about it. And I'm going on a rant, but think about it. It's everything. If they get rid of all the bin men and replace them all with blind, partially sighted, deaf bin lesbians, are your bins going to get fucking emptied? Stevie Wonder with a cane. Oh, where's the fucking bin? What's he going to do? Wander into your back garden, pick your dog up and throw it in the back of the truck. Everything goes to shit. They can't even empty the bins. They can't drive the buses. They'll hire someone with no fucking feet to drive the bus because they're a black, disabled fucking roller bus driver. It doesn't work. Anyway, went on a tangent. I will get to the end of this story if it kills me. So apparently, it wasn't because the director knows nothing, hasn't read the books, doesn't know the source material, changed everything. It wasn't because of that. It was just because the director was a woman. Let's continue. Female writers and directors were suddenly completely ignored on set, unable to do their jobs. Every department head was complaining. He started making comments. It wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't grabbing anyone or being lewd, but it was disrespectful and toxic all the same. Fucked. So you can't do, even if you're not rude, you don't say anything, you don't grab anyone, you don't say anything, you don't do anything. But you're not a communist, so they'll say, well, you got the police. I want to report sexual harassment, sexual assault. All right, go on then. What did he say? Did he say anything lewd? No, I didn't do that. All right, did he grab you? Did he grope you? No, I didn't do that. Did he push or shove anyone? Did he raise his voice and act in an aggressive manner? No, I didn't do that. What did he do? Well, he disagreed with the communist. Nick him. 10 years hard labour, the cunt. Right, so it's just lunacy. He didn't do anything. To sum up, he didn't do anything. He's addicted to video games. He was late. He was obsessive. Maybe he was late sometimes. A lot of people think the misogyny came from the gamer world. And he wouldn't stop. Someone on the show compared it to watching him get brainwashed by QAnon. His whole personality shifted because he played video games. I don't want to sound like I'm lecturing any boomers in the chat, but do you know how common video games are now? I play video games. I think every person I know my age plays video games. I don't spend all day, every day playing video games. Most people who work for a living and are over the age of about 30 and don't just live with a man don't, because, you can't, but it's a very, very common form of entertainment. Everybody does it. The idea that you can just play video games and all of a sudden your brain doesn't work properly and it transforms you into some militant, minge-grabbing bro is laugh out loud funny. And again, it's only being written by some woke ideologue who doesn't play video games. Because the other thing you need to realise about these things is that the people doing the complaining are never interested in the product. Because as I've pointed out many times, it's all about taking something that you like away from you. The people, I think about this. I used to read comics. I used to collect them till I was about 20, right? I was into them when I was a young lad. I went to a comic book convention in New York. That's how much of a sad bastard the Bootneck is. 98% of the people at comic book conventions, other than the birds dressed as fucking Wonder Woman, were blokes, white blokes. It's just a hobby that white blokes like because we've got a long tradition of it. 2000 AD. Class, I used to collect that when I was a kid. For years, I bought 2000 AD. Fucking brilliant. But the commies take it from you and aim those products towards people that aren't interested in them. Like I tell you, it's because they want to make you angry. They want to make you bitter and resentful because they're trying to usher in the big battle between left and right, because then you get the glorious revolution. It's all on purpose. Spite, envy, bitterness, resentment, they coax it out of you. So this fucker knows nothing about anything. Nothing about The Witcher, nothing about the canon, nothing about comics, nothing about video games. Typically, they're more masculine hobbies, and this silly bastard doesn't know what she's talking about. How the fuck does playing Pac-Man make you into a fanny-grabbing MMA brawler? It's ludicrous. I'd go so far as to say 90% of young men play video games nowadays. Although I suppose they think they're all evil, so maybe that makes sense, doesn't it? It says he would rewrite scenes without alerting the other actors, and he said he didn't want any romantic scenes. He wanted control of storylines. Probably, again, he decided he didn't want any romantic scenes. Yeah, because in the canon, The Witcher's not an absolute fanny rat. Like, he has two sort of relationships, but it's not like a romantic book. That's why they're good. I've read the books. I read The Witcher, the first one, when I was in Afghanistan. One of the lads in the Royal Anglican Regiment gave it to me. I'd never even heard of it. And a bloke from the Royal Anglican Regiment gave me the book. This is about like 12 years ago or something. That was when I read it. And it was good, entertaining, because it's good old-fashioned heroic fantasy. Geralt's a badass and he kicks ass all the time, and there's a little bit of romance in it, but mainly he's just twatting people because it's entertaining. It's like I've talked about my favourite writers, you guys know, David Gemmell, Druss the Legend, Waylander, John Shannon, Conover. They're all fantastic characters because they just kick ass all the time. When you're a bloke, you want some red meat, easy reading, heroic fantasy. You just want a bloke who twats everyone all the time. They're not romantic books. There's a little bit of it. They're not romantic. So that's why I changed it. It says, the showrunner was asked to construct a potential exit for him. Netflix reached out to him personally. He was given a final warning and violated the warning with an email he sent to the entire writing staff, and that was it. So basically, they're just smearing him because he's not a communist. So it's just, there you go. We got there in the end, Matt, including a couple of off-piece rants about General Pinochet, but you get what I'm saying, right? So they're going for anybody who disagrees with them about anything, and we're all on the chopping block. And if they get supreme authority, almost everyone will be on the chopping block. People, like I keep saying, I am right. If you're a fucking centrist, centre-left, they'll come for you. They will come for you. You have to be all in, conquer deep on their dog shit ideology, or they will come and get you. They will grab you by the scrotum and give it a little twist the second they have a whiff of power, because what they always do. So, like I keep telling all of the new people that are commenting on my fucking videos of late, calling me a fascist and a Nazi. It's like, I'm not. All of my sensibilities are centre-left, really. It's how I've always been. Like I said, things like gay rights and abortion and fucking individual liberty. I've always been centre-left on that stuff. I've never cared about it. And if you think, when you have a cursory look at my videos, that I'm far right, it's not. But I am a pragmatist. And if you're giving me a choice between people that can actually keep the show running or total fucking collapse, then I'll hold my nose and I'll go with the right wingers. And that's what I keep telling anyone that'll listen. And you should as well. Because the alternative is fucked. Fucked. Not just a little bit fucked. Fucked. Nothing works. Nothing. Even, as I think I've duly illustrated, entertainment. They'll even come and get your entertainment because it's the personal is political. They don't only fuck up the economy and the buses and the bin men and burying people and keeping the lights on. They even fuck up books, comics, mass media, news, entertainment, everything. Burn the books, rewrite the history books. That's why Orwell is revered in the way that he is. Because, I mean, it's not even that clever, really. He just read some history books, didn't he? And then he wrote an entertaining work of fiction. You just need to learn history and you know what's coming and you know what's going to happen, so you will grasp any alternative. That's all that I'm doing. I'm fucking, yeah, exactly. It's not far right. It's just right. I'll vote for anyone who'll keep the lights on, and nobody left of the fucking Conservatives in England will keep the lights on, including the Conservatives, because they're now woke as well. Elon Musk called it a mind virus, and that's what it is. You seen that video? Did you see that tweet I put up the other day with that lass who went to fucking university? Was it within a couple of months of just being turned into an absolute freak? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It is a mind virus. That's a good way to describe it, because she appeared to be a normal, happy, healthy kid, and then goes to college, fucked. Fucked. That's what I'm saying. They get everything. Look, in fact, yeah, there's the tweet there. Hold on, put that up. I posted for a laugh. 6 at the start of college, 3 halfway through, mutant by the end of it. Getting apprenticeship, kids. Look at the clip of this. It was a Fernandino tweet. Abigail Elizabeth Scapyak. Fucking hell. American birds have weird names. Don't the Scapyak. Never heard that one. Throwing fire bombs at the coppers. So not a minor issue. Throwing a firebomb at a copper. You know, I was a little bit of a twat when I was a teenager. I called a few coppers wankers. And then they'll chase us because we were, you know, the whole thing when you're trying to show off to your mates when you're teenagers, you want them to chase you. We used to call it getting a legger. We used to go, well, let's get a legger. And you just go on and like call a copper a cunt or like, you know, throw an egg at someone's window. That's hijinks. Throwing fire bombs at the coppers is ISIS shit, right? That's fucking Al-Qaeda, that. So it's a mind virus. She went to college and she turned into a fucking mutant. There she is. Bonnie lass, minus the septum piercing. I do not understand why all of these woke troglodytes always get the nose pierced. It looks horrible. When I'm in the pubs round here and Bonnie lass walks in and she from a distance, you go, oh, she's Bonnie. And then she walks over and she's always got a coach ball through a fucking tongue. Or a nose. They're the worst, them, through the nose. It just instantly reminds me of a cow or a bull or a pig. A fucking ring through the nose. And again, that's linked to it, isn't it? Because they say you have to reject heteronormative Western beauty standards. They go, yeah. Yeah, they say you should have feminine features. So here's what you do. Don't shave your legs or your armpits. Fire a fucking ring through your nose and do your level best to make yourself look like an ugly twat. That's what they do. So poor old Abby, there she was. Spring 2020. Normal. Just normal looking. Happy days. Yeah, I went to university. Nice one. Yeah, there she is. Look, see the photo there? It looks like in that tweet, she didn't even have the septum piercing. Just looked like a bonny lass. I've got huge news for you. I'm so proud. I got an internship position at the Department of Justice. Yay, I'm going to ensure migrants are treated with respect. Woohoo. And fucked. So, continuing the theme, right? That's where it gets you. That's where this fucked up ideology gets you. Normal, happy, and fucked. Fucked. I don't know what the fucking marks on her face are. Oh, she probably, you know, I don't know. She was probably rejecting patriarchal family norms and, you know, was getting her face smashed into the tarmac while she was getting back scuttled by the 12th sailor of the evening. But whatever. Fucked. And then obviously in the last one, she's even got the fucking daft hair colour. So she's got all in there. Got all in. Pink hair, coach ball through her nose, face like a fucking plasterer's radio. Nice one. Wokeism achieved. Winner. Attractive at the start. Looks like she's been fucking apple bobbing in the deep fat fries at McDonald's come the end. Nice one. I've seen prettier men for... Well, I'm from Middlesbrough and I'm a good looking twat, aren't I? Anyway, so, fucked. Right, I'm going to call it there because it's nearly midday and I want to go out and get something to eat. You guys will have to amuse yourselves Saturday night, right? Saturday night. Go and watch fucking, I don't know, Sargon or something. Although he's been a bit lazy these days, isn't he? It's always left to those two lads and I'm not as keen on them. It irritates me how everybody's posh as fuck on that channel now. It's like, I don't know, I guess you just don't get as much traction if you sound like me. Maybe I should start wearing a tie and talking my I don't even think I can do a posh voice. Even when I try to do a posh voice, I still sound northern. I just don't sound like I've been drinking. Right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good Saturday night. Keep smiling. Again, it is funny, isn't it? It is funny. You have to laugh. There's no point getting super pissed about it all. The fact that they're fucking up the entire Western world and in a couple of years' time, we're all going to be living off rainwater and fucking noodle doodles, there's no point worrying about it. You might as well laugh. When it gets bad, it's character building, right? We're all getting a bit fat and lazy these days. Maybe it'll be good for us to have a couple of years having to bury your granddad yourself in your own fucking back garden and take your own bin liners to the fucking sea and fling it in. Which it'll be good for climate change, won't it, when they fuck up the entire public service and everyone's just pulling the transit vans up to the Atlantic Ocean and just ditching it full of shit. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to go and do something interesting with my Saturday, and I hope you do too. All right, I'll make a video at some point this weekend, I'm sure, and I'll see you all for a stream on Monday. All right, toodle pip. Have a good weekend. See you later.